All right, we're at the top of the test track, or I guess my personal test track here on City Creek. About to drop into some chunky stuff. We're gonna see how this bike handles. All right, kids, I like to pedal a little bit of pavement, just to get a little feel before we get up to the City Creek test track. You can see I'm clearly going to adjust some things here. Initial impression, bike's crazy smooth. I think it just feels really smooth on the pavement, pedals really well. With the bike in fully open, definitely a little bit of bob going on. That might just be me coming off of the single speed and being used to a completely rigid rear end. But in the middle position, that completely disappears, feels super solid. We'll see how it feels on the trail here in just a second. Other initial impression, as soon as I jumped onto the bike, felt really short, as in the cockpit was really short. Kind of surprised me. I've ridden Specialized mediums for a long time. They've always felt really good. But other than that, everything's pretty sweet. Just about to City Creek, top of Vomit Hill. Climbs like a champ. Seated, standing, fork's got a little bit of dive. That's pretty normal for Fox. Pretty excited to try this thing on some trail. All right, we're at the top of the test track, or I guess my personal test track here on City Creek. About to drop into some chunky stuff. We're gonna see how this bike handles. Pretty good. A little nervous going into that. The first little downhill coming off of the 18th or Red Hills Parkway. I had it in pro pedal and it was bouncing all over the place. That actually felt super solid. Nimble, to cut through stuff just like I'd want it to. Forks is not where I need it to be though. Dropping into the switchback, which that far side is super tight. Bit of a more precision move than what I've done on this bike yet, so we'll see how it goes. I also haven't been on this trail in a hot minute, so no idea what condition this is in. I can get pretty loose. You line. Woohoo! You're a bit of age. Here's your turn. Alright, it feels good. See, brakes are a little soft. I'm not very grippy. Woo, yeah. Come on, XD. There we go. Okay. Oop, that lost it. Yeah, not bad. For a bike I've ridden exactly 29 minutes. That's pretty good. Made it to the power line climb. We're about to get to the power line climb. So I've done a few of the short, chunky up to this point. And initially I was kind of surprised that I couldn't really feel the 370 hub. Thought it was going to be awesome. But then as soon as I got into some techie stuff in a little bit lower gear than I wanted to, pedal backwards to try to get some strength, some power out of it. The engagement was just too slow for my liking. People coming onto this bike from a lot of other hubs would be probably blown away by it. I think silent. I haven't had any skipping yet with the poles, but my style of riding and what I'm used to, it's just a little slobber. First ride on the Epic Evo Expert with the XT Di2 drivetrain. I've made it to the junction of City Creek and Owens Loop. Figured I'd give you my first impressions. bike, it feels pretty good. Usually when I get on a full suspension bike, I feel like I'm on a downhill bike. It's just so much more than what I'm used to. This bike definitely is not that. I can definitely feel things moving around, smooths everything out. Seems to pedal really well, both in the uphill and the downhill. And in general, it feels really good. At first, I thought the cockpit felt really short. Raised my saddle about a ½ inch, and cockpit feels pretty dialed right now. As far as the controls, definitely need to still dial those in. That's on me. I didn't spend enough time last night putting it together to get them where I need to be, but in general, they feel fine. My only complaint right now is the rear hub. Going up some of the techie climbs, especially when you get to the point where it's you're really trying to mash, get that feeling where there's nothing there, and then thunk, you hit the pawls. So it's definitely a little bit slower than I would like. Definitely affected the climbing. But other than that, pretty stoked on the bike so far. All right, rolling the shit on a brand new bike. Woo! Never had that happen before. All right, that was pretty spicy. I'm gonna blame the rear hub for my pedals not being in the right spot and catching the top. Could just be that I haven't been up here in a while and hit that wrong. But bike handle was all right. Definitely could feel that DI2 derailleur bouncing around in the back, and we ended up in the bushes there a little bit, but we got through. Yeah, just finish this out, and then, like I said, I'll report back next week or so as I get more miles on this bike. All right, we're gonna drop into a seldom ridden trail. It's actually one of my favorites. It's super short. Very few people ride it. For that reason, well, a lot of people don't even know this thing exists. This is the Brooks Nature Trail. Okay. And I haven't been down it for a minute, so we're going to see how eroded it is. Especially after last weekend's drink. That's spice there. Woo! I need to level a little bit of air out of these tires. Could it be? Well. And deep breath. Super spicy. Go. Yeah. That's clear. Oh, fuck. Wait, two. Thanks, man.
Yeah, sorry.
You're good.
My foot.
Yeah.